Hey Julio, how you doing?
Hey, Mike. Pretty good, and you?
I'm doing good. How's your day going?
Not so bad.
Not so bad. That's great. All right. So, how does the network look on your end?
Oh yeah. So I would say that this is a video call that we're running. It's 1080p session. The coding that we're running is H264.
Sweet. All right. So yeah. All right. So just to let you know, and what you can't specifically see, but so I'm running a few some tests on our end. We're measuring packet loss on our end, and I know you can see it on your end as well. And so the phone is what any normal user would ever experience, and we have a couple devices. One sits behind just like this phone. It's measuring any sort of loss, anything that it can see from its side, and the actual video has an overlay, and so it's showing what it's reading, and also it's showing an AI unbuffered session. So if we do fail over, we're going to see if it survives. And then there's also a buffered session. So if we do fail over and the unbuffered session doesn't work, the buffer session will keep it in memory upwards of about 30 seconds or so. I mean, it can be more than that, but that's where we're at right now. And also, we have three connections. So one is Google Fiber, the second one is AT&T, and the other one is Starlink. Consumer unpredictable, links, and that's what we're trying to account for. So we're trying to inject jitter, packet loss, any sort of latency. So we're trying to recreate a normal internet connection. And
Right.
so I'm going to go through a couple of tests here, and just tell me what you're seeing, and I'll also report what I'm seeing. So you ready to go?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So yeah, right now it's simply this is the baseline. Nothing's going on. So I'm starting some of the AI inference, but is everything looking stable on your end right now? Still?
Zero packet loss at the moment.
That's really good. I mean, that's very stable. All
Yeah,
right.
it
So
is.
I'm going to start going. So I've got like a little trigger here so I can start those sort of scenarios, but then I'm going to, follow it with some unplugging of cables. But so the first scenario, I'm going to do a predictive cutover. So like it's a graduated ramp. So we have a prediction algorithm built into the system so it can preemptively detect or when it thinks there's going to be a failure. And so this is really going to be the closest that we can possibly have to sort of a real life outage that's about to happen. Not always is it a fast cut, and we can compensate for that, but that'll be for the next test. But for this one, so let's just try the graduated and let's see how it does. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it started, and I'm gonna start it right now. Three, two, and one.
All right. Looking so good here. Zero packet loss.
Good.
How are you? How's your stream looking like?
Trying to check it out right now, but I think it's looking good to me. Yeah, I think the it failed over. How does it look? I mean, you still look great.
Yeah. So there was like a 20 packet loss.
Okay, which is to be expected. I mean, the one thing about the graduated is that it's trying to predict is it or isn't an outage, and it tries to do some duplication. So it tries to account for it before it actually causes a failover. You don't want it to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That would just kind of defeat the purpose, so to speak. But I
Right.
mean, in general, scenarios like this is the smoothest. This is the best, experience for the most part. Uh, so the next one is going to be a reactive failover. So I'm actually going to physically unplug an Ethernet cable, and let's see how it fails over. So there's no sort of machine learning. There's no algorithm that's predicting this. I'm just going to do it. So this accounts for the minority of internet loss, but it is still a thing. If someone were to cut fiber, it's a thing. So I'm just going to start it here, the scenario, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut Google Fiber. 1, 2, 3. All right, you still look great.
And we had, on that event, we had a 15 packet loss.
All right, would you say it's still pretty good?
Yeah, for the amount of packets that we are pushing right now, over 150,000.
Wow, okay, that's amazing. All right, so I've got Google Fiber, and so we're on AT&T Fiber at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to unplug it, and we're going to hop to Starlink. And so kind of making sure that Starlink's clear, So, I mean, the cool thing about the machine learning algorithm is it can actually detect when satellite passovers and handoffs are happening. It's kind of cool, right? It can calculate that. But I'm going to go ahead and unplug it, and let's see what happens. Let's go around at least somewhat around the world. Plugging it now.
All right.
And I would expect a little bit more loss on Starlink, but we're only on Starlink now.
Yes, actually, that was, I can see.
And actually, I can see just.
We went over 100 actually at that time.
And that makes sense. Actually, I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like we actually might be in between a handover. It should.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just kind of a thing with Starlink too. You can't always predict it. Now, had we had another link available, if we were on Starlink as primary, we would have moved over to fiber, or if we had 5G or anything else that's available.
Yeah. An interesting thing is that the loss hasn't stopped even when you weren't doing anything.
That's interesting.
So yeah, that totally tells us that the circuit that we're using now is not very reliable, right?
No, I mean, it's definitely Starlink. Maybe it's just the weather, but I mean, still, for how many hops we're now going through, I mean, it still looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna plug everything back in. I'm gonna reset. So I'm gonna do ultimately the same thing, just to be a little bit more aggressive this time. So let's let that reset. Sometimes this takes a second. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, and this time I'm gonna plug every single one of them, so where there is nothing left. And so one thing to, that's being showed on the screen is the AI buffer and how many tokens. So, in a total loss, we're definitely going to lose the unbuffered AI session. Otherwise the buffered session is being held in the controller, and it's going to stay there until we pop back in, until you come back and I plug everything back in. I'll try to leave you unplugged for about 15 seconds, and hopefully you come back as well. All right, so let's see. See you in a second. Still there, still there.
Yeah, still here.
And there's one more. All right. It's kind of exciting. Sometimes it's fun just see him still. Nothing happened. Sometimes he talks a little bit much, but that's all right. All right, I'm gonna bring it back now. All right, you're back.
Yes.
All right, I would say that is a successful test. So anything you got on your side that you want to report?
Yeah, no, so this totally showed a big hike in packet loss.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a while to come back on, but I can see it now. Yeah.
I mean, we had it was 10, 15 seconds. It was gone. I mean.
Right. So I was saying like the statistics that I was pulling, but yeah, I see them now, and yeah, over 6,000 packets were lost in the amount of time that the UR endpoint was offline. So yeah, that was a lot of packets.
Yeah, and you just kind of blipped out there right now. So I guess it did freeze. You did come back, but one thing that we're working on the second iteration is actual session preservation. So where even from a loss perspective, in the buffer, it's going to hold the call alive. And then when it returns, then to call manager or to whatever voice system, from its perception, it'll see like nothing has lost, like it's been up the entire time. And so this recovery, it would just, as soon as we plug back in, similar to the AI, it would just pop up, at that timestamp. But in terms of and that's kind of the next iteration where we're going with this. Right now, it's to sit in front or next to router, SD-WAN, or anything to really complement it. But as we evolve, I mean, a lot of good things to come. But as you can see, like very unstable connections, we survived that. It's stateful. I would say normally on a plug pool, I mean, in a normal situation, if someone were to do that, I would say the call would be over.
Yeah, I can say that because when you're switching from one circuit to the next, you're changing IPs that is not friendly with voice.
Yes.
So yeah, having a system like this really helps voice, but it makes a lot of situations really less complicated because your queue, which is going to be at the edge of your network, is always going to have just one single IP, no matter what circuit the traffic is going through. So this way, you your users won't ever notice there is a problem with the internet at the facility.
I mean, and that's a huge value add. I mean, dropping a contact center, like broadcast, anything, what we're working for, I mean, you're talking thousands, and AI especially, if you're running a large model, you could have just lost. If you have $1,000 model that's running, AI is very similar to voice. It'll try, but you have a very small window.
Yeah,
And so
definitely. Yes, I
it,
see the value in this. Not only for voice, also for anything that is real time, that cannot take a lot of packet loss or is not designed to overcome IP changes like
right.
this. Yeah, this can really make a
I
difference.
mean, and the cool thing, what we're doing here is we're not doing duplication the entire time. We'll duplicate for a split second, and we probe to see if there's any sort of imbalance or insecurity or insignificant issues. So by default, we're probing 10 times per second. If the machine learning algorithm detects something, then it bumps to 60 hertz or 60 times per second. Um, but there's other providers that actually do work for broadcast, but what they're doing is they're bonding, and we're not doing that. We're doing pure XDP, eBGPF. And so I mean, that is like giving us near hardware speed on software. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
like,
Yes.
where this is going to go, it's wild. I'm excited.
Yeah, same here.
All right, man. Well, until we talk later, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right.
Take
Take
care.
care,
Have a
man.
good night.
You too.